Quite similar. So what we're going to do, before we make the tier list for Garuda and Hokuto, what I'm going to do is quickly run through them, just to see if there's anything I might not be considering. Just for the sake of, you know, being thorough. We've got to have the data, right? So yeah, so Rampage, or aggro. Obviously Rampage is going to be amazing. So here, let's turn on my Gougi. So Rampage is obviously amazing for Garuda, since he does a lot of hits. Like, it's going to be a lot of damage. So even like a basic B&B with meter here, let's say I get a heart attack. Well, even then, right? And then one bar, and they're dead. They're basically dead. They're basically dead. I do play Darun. It's quite fun. And the frenzy, so having it be, actually that would be death. So I think it's at 25% or 15. Yeah, so whenever the red, yeah, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so when you're to 25% of health left, so you see the health bar goes red, right? On Garuda's side. So I already do more damage. So let's say if I have full meter, I get a combo. Right? Guard break. One sequence, right? Mind you, that's Rampage 30 and guard break. So this is a late game. And you need to have frenzy, right? So you see how much this build's 10, right? So it just keeps ramping up, right? Oh, he's definitely a grappler. Command grabs aren't super strong in this game. Because Throw has a lot of whiff recovery, right? The big problem with Darun is that he's a lot slower, and he doesn't have the best anti-airs right above his head. He can do stand heavy punch, but like the little chop that goes over. But it's a lot slower, and he has to take... I think the best way to play him is bursts of high risk, and basically making people be afraid of command grab, and then capitalizing on punishes when people try to get away from a command grab. Like if you make a read and you go like this, and you do like a meaty heavy kick or something like that, or heavy punch, or you catch them like jumping, and like you just dash forward and wait a sec to see if they jump, and then you do like Indra Bridge super to catch them. Stuff like that is really powerful, right? So yeah, Aggro is obviously amazing. Juggernaut I think is quite cool, because it makes his guard break almost uninterruptible. Like, go through really quick. Like if they wake up buttons or something like that, right? Right? Then you still get it off. And against characters like D.Dark, this is kind of brutal because he can't actually do anything. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And he like no command grab character, like no grappler I've seen in a fighting game has the level of juggles that he does. Maybe in TMNT, Cross Justice League, like those grapplers have like tons of juggle points, like you know, Rat King, Despero. What's a grappler in that game? I mean, Wonder Woman's sort of a she has like a high grapple game, but I wouldn't say she's a grappler though. Yeah, so like let's say D.Dark does super Dark Knife, the best one. Oh yeah, Chrome Dome. Yeah, thank you. Like like I did it late and he still got clipped. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, you see? So I take the damage, obviously, but obviously I put the hurt on. And that's his best super. He can't do anything else. Guess I get this. It just takes too long to activate, right? Thank you. And I was watching the tapes back of my matches, and I took a lot of risk when I didn't need to in some situations. Like, I didn't bother. Mind you, a lot of it was the delay and parsec. So I think my fear of missing the confirm because of delay, then I just did it anyway, because a lot of the time I wasn't getting punished that hard. My biggest mistakes were not looking for the tag out, but it's very unclear to me how you can, when you're able to tag out. I know that if you have bar you can tag, but my understanding was that if you have 2 bars for like full tag, that you can you know, tag out completely. Yo, CIFGC, thanks for the raid. Hope the tournament went well. Yeah, so we're making a Gougi tier list for Garuda and Hokuto and Vexel, and also just kind of going through the decks for Garuda just to kind of, you know, show wow, some stuff I know about them. Saving tag is 2 bars, yeah. And we're just talking about my TMNT 3rd place placement yesterday. Oh, wake up tag is 1 tag, and combo tag is 1 bar. Okay, so so you can do tag on wake up. Okay, I didn't know that. That I didn't know. Okay. And you do that as you're getting knocked down, and then I guess there's a small window that you can call tag. And then saving tag is when you're getting comboed. Is that what it is? Okay, because that makes more sense to me. Because I was like, why am I getting... How are they getting a saving tag when, you know, I thought it was 2 bars? So yeah, that makes way more sense then. Okay. And I noticed that basically if you make the tag whiff, then they get into a full recovery of, like, you know, their taunt to like come in. But if they get hit, or if they get a hit, even if it's blocked, they recover instantly. Makes for some mind games. Yeah. Okay, I understand. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, because it was getting me a lot, and I was like, I can't figure this shit out. Yeah, Juggernaut is great, as I was saying. Shinobi, pretty good in some ways. Like, obviously being able to be fully invisible, right? Let's see if I can make this a... Right, it's got some cool stuff. Illusion and Guard Cancel are really useful together in some matchups. But mostly, I think mostly for Garuda, it's based on the deck and character choice. Usually, unless you're playing against Shadowgeist, I don't think you'll need both. Maybe against a juggle character, maybe against a character like Terry. But I find, usually to fight those characters, if you already do good damage, it's generally better to just like input more into damage, you know, rather than defensive options, unless you're getting things like double face or something like that. I shouted you out. I did say thank you. Infinity, I think, is quite good. It doesn't benefit him too much. Like, he doesn't have any moves that he can just, like, spam. But the big reason why it's good is for the DP. Because then you can cancel into supers, right? So having that for basically for free is quite good. I mean, if you're really fast with it. Let's see. If you're really fast, right? I mean, but it's not like Hokuto or other characters where you have a move that you can just throw out and control the screen for free while getting back to neutral, so you can refill it quickly. Sounds good, Arneezy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, and for Miracle, Garuda can build Overload better than the average character because of Shuga here, right? And once he activates it, it's pretty nuts for him. But to be quite honest with you, I don't think it's worth it for him because he needs a lot of meter to get better Oki, you know, damage, like keep his unsafe specials or hard read stuff safe, and his conversions off certain situations, right? Stealth Raptor is quite good. He has probably one of the most floatiest jumps in the game. It's not very high, but it's extremely slow. So when you jump, you're basically floating, right? You're in space. So that's a big weakness for him because he has trouble throw baiting some characters that if you instant tech, you'll miss the timing a lot of the time. So Stealth Raptor gives you a short hop that costs a chunk of bar, and it's really good because you can still land. You can still land and get a dash in, right? It's quite good. And then also having Utsemi, so basically when you get knocked down, you have you turn invisible for a brief period, so you can't see exactly what you're doing on wake up. Plus the attack up, speed up, meter up, 10%, 5% more. I mean, it's quite good. Berserker, I think, is slightly underutilized, but good. Like, he can already do a decent chunk of chip, right? Well, let's do it with 6 chain. Like, that's pretty good for meterless. And then it's safe too, right? Not bad, huh? And it's unpunishable, free to do. And if you get them to the corner, let's say, you're not supposed to hit two. Let's see if I can get this right. No, it's gonna push out. So I think it was something like, there you go. So you can get some pretty decent ship if you really want to. So quite good if you want to be more aggressive. Double face is good with every character, I would say. Right? You get armor if you lose a round at half life. And then guard cancel, illusion, that grab up, speed up, all good stuff. Skydancer is another way to fix Garuda's jump, because it gives you a jump that's a bit faster. It's a bit more telegraphed because you hear the sound, right? But it always tracks. So the great thing about him is that if you get these kind of situations where you do like this, you can chase to get Oki right away. Let's turn off the reversal. And even this one here, you can get a safe jump every time, anywhere on the screen, which is really nice. And see Meshuga, right? Because Meshuga doesn't really give you the best Oki if they recover. So let's say they recover here. Right? You can go for Oki, but nothing too crazy versus something like that, right? So great deck. Plus it gives you guard break, and Garuda's is one of the best guard breaks because it low profiles at the end, and it's actually hard to punish because of the pushback. Plus illusion is always great. Any defensive options he can get outside of reversal is great. Nightmare is a lot better now. Still think it could be stronger because Garuda doesn't really build... He doesn't really get a lot of hard knockdowns. The best one is probably his command normal here because you get a chance, but you don't really build too much meter compared to other characters. But Ghost is nice, and the 2 speed up really helps his walk speed. You can see here, he's pretty slippery. It's good for neutral. Babel, I would never recommend using Babel. I think this is one of the worst. It's a deck based on hit confirming, but Garuda doesn't want to hit confirm a lot of the time. You can play that way if you really want to, like just end in sweep if you're, they're not blocking, or if they're blocking. But you can go into this if you want to, and he can confirm, take his ways to end the string safely, like I said, or into a normal maybe, just for a chance. But yeah. It's just a different kind of Garuda. I wouldn't say it plays to his strengths necessarily, but you can play that way and be rewarded for it. Thunderbolt, I think, is amazing. Having the teleport, right? Having critical Gougi. So basically, the way critical works and why it's so good for Garuda is basically because it does multiple... It's based on the move that you do next. So when that little critical icon is red, the little time stopwatch, basically the next move you do has increased damage. I think it's something like 1.5 times damage or something. But it's not based on a single hit. It's based on the next move you do. So what's great for Garuda is that most of his attacks have multiple hits. So all these blue hits here, that's critical damage, right? But if you don't have that, right? You can see how little it does in comparison, right? So that's why it's really nice for him, because he'll scale quite heavily in a long combo here. But you can see when the super hits, shoots up to 80, right? So it's really good. Fenacista is okay, not too bad. Like, you have meter growth, so basically this is a deck when you do a reversal, it builds you bar, and P reversal makes your reversals do more damage. So basically just when you input a special move out of guard, like out of guard block stun, on wake up, or after a... I think that's it actually. Yeah, after block stun, and then basically when you get up. That's the 2 situations where you can do a reversal. Supernova, kind of like the same idea as Miracle. It's not really ideal for Garuda. This version of the deck is better. Like Rage is great, Guard Break is great, Mammoth is great, Meter Power is excellent. Like you can see, the damage output is insane. So much better than Miracle, but still, to activate all that stuff, it takes way more energy for him. So Grandmaster, he doesn't have a command grab, so it's one of the worst. You can pick it for memes if you really want extra grab range. It doesn't increase your regular grab's damage, which I think is a missed opportunity with this deck. Like, I would take away one of those speed ups and make like a new Gougi called like Grab Up Buff or something like that. Because, you know, it would give every character, if you really want to play the throw game, you really can, right? Because this deck only truly benefits characters with the command grab, you know? And Skullomania, for example, is one of those characters, because they have an air command grab. It doesn't have to be on the ground. And Raging Demon does get, the Skullo Dream, it does get a buff from the command grab boost. So yeah. Let's make that list. I'll put it up on screen. We'll put some Fexel tunes instead. So we got Hokuto and Garuda. I'll try to make that bigger. Hope you guys see. I think for my next stream, though, I do want to make a TMNT Cross Justice League tier list, because I have some thoughts. And I think people would disagree, to be honest. Which is fine. Okay, let's see if we make it this bigger. There we go. I think this is pretty good. It should be A tier. No, so this is a Gougi tier list. So basically, what that means is, you know, each deck with the Garuda himself. And because we have a bunch of tier lists already, I'm pretty consistent with my thoughts on the strength of the game. Oh, thank you. Maybe if we get through this quickly, I can do it afterwards. You stand by what you said? Yeah, I agree. You guys got to put Garuda in TMNT Cross Justice League. I bet he would be busted. Because he's not very strong in Fexel. So yeah, I don't think there's any S tier. There is an E tier. So let's go from bottom to the top. So I would say, or you know what? Let's go in order. I would say aggro is definitely A tier. He already does good damage, and this just makes him do even more. And he can just melt your entire life bar if he gets a chance. It doesn't help his weaknesses at all, but if you can stay on offense, this is a great deck. Juggernaut, I would say, because of the guard break and Hades being changed now, I would put this probably in C. You know what? I'm probably at the end of B, I would say. Yeah, A for aggro. Shinobi, I think I would put Shinobi... This is probably a niche one because it's matchup dependent, in my opinion. It's a good Gougi to use in general, but then you're not really excelling in any department. You know, you're not a character like Rosa with left-right mix-ups or high-low mix-ups that are really dangerous. So, spare 1500 real har. You have Fexel and Steam, but haven't played in ages. Yeah, for sure. That's a huge aspect, right? Like, use the guide. This is the one. No. There you go. Yeah, the Fexel guide is it'll teach you everything. I've written it basically like ki.info.net. That's where I took the template from. So just treat it like a manual, like the one you guys made for TMNT Cross Justice League. It's excellent. But yeah, if you want to play, I'm definitely down to play at some point. Not today, but another day. Infinity, I would probably put Infinity... I would put it with Shinobi. But I would put it in front of Shinobi because it's a better general use. Because more meter means more conversion, more damage, right? And guard cancel is still nice. And so it's going to be more beneficial than a deck like Shinobi. Miracle, I would put down in... I wouldn't put it in E because it's not useless. But you have to play a very specific way that's very restrictive, but it's a huge payoff. So maybe in some matchups where characters don't deal a lot of damage, or if they don't have a deck that's very high damaging, like maybe some more defensive Gougi, like guard cancel or stuff like that, I think that's probably where Miracle would excel. Stealth Raptor. I think Stealth Raptor is pretty good. I think better than Juggernaut. I think because it fixes the Garuda slow jump. Because he doesn't have to jump with this. He can just pay a little bit of meter. And the general blue Gougi buffs are pretty good. Yeah. Berserker, I would put also in Yeah, I have a hard time putting in an A because it's just chip damage. Yeah, I would put it above Juggernaut, but not better than Stealth Raptor. Double Face, I think, is pretty decent. I would definitely put it with Juggernaut, I think. Thank you. Yeah, please, if you could share that in the Super Nintendo Discord, I really appreciate it. Just for people to see it and for people to share it. Like, I don't think there's a spot to even post it in the Discord, but I just want more people to see it because people don't know. And I can't get Rika to put it in their game to give it to people for access. So if you could share it to anybody, I would really, really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it, got a lot of help from the Fexel community. And, you know, Arneezy, big thanks to him for helping me get another dash section going up. So, yeah. Took a long time. And this is the second version of it, so you're seeing the new update. For Skydancer, like I said, it does fix Garuda's jump. I think the deck is better because it gives you chip up, guard break, and illusion, which I think is better offensively than Stealth Raptor, so I would actually put Skydancer up here. Never heard back? Yeah, I emailed them once or twice, and only when I've asked about ordering from their Japanese merch site that I've gotten a reply. Other times when I ask for other stuff or give feedback about the game, I never really hear a reply. I don't know if it's because they're not accepting feedback or, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. It's really tough. Could be a communication thing. I know because they used to have a translator that they had on deck all the time, but now I'm not sure that they do. So yeah. Nightmare, I would say it's better, but you got to put in a lot of work. I think it's probably more beneficial than Infinity because it can steal stuff from your opponent, and speed up is really good for him. I think it's kind of a niche pick at the same time. Like some matchups, like where meter is really important, is very good. Yeah, could be. I would put Nightmare up. Yeah, I would put it just above Infinity, I would say. Because meter is great, but stealing meter and still gaining meter is better than just gaining meter on your own, for Garuda specifically, okay? His Ghost is still really nice, plus the speed up, like I said. And, you know, Infinity is just a deck with meter, so. And Garuda's not a character that really needs guard cancel, because he has a reversal. Like an excellent DP that hits both sides, and that can be canceled into a super that's a mind game on its own, so. Babel, like I said, not worthless. It just definitely changes the style of the game if you play Garuda. So I think I would love to see, you know what? I probably will try to play Babel in the next tournament, the Fexel tournament that's happening on the 15th, so next week. I'll post the bracket in the chat. If you could share this, I would really appreciate it. There's only 4 people right now. So enough to run a tournament, but not enough to be, you know, a big thing. But share this to your friends, anyone that is interested in Fexel. It's just a community night. It's nothing too serious. There is a good Matcherino just for slight incentive boost, but it's mostly just a time to play Fexel and have fun, right? But yeah, where was I? Yeah, so Babel, I'd say, needs more exploration, but I don't think it's very strong. But it could be. You just have to give up on a lot of stuff. So I would probably say it's not as good as any of these decks here. At least right now. That could probably change when I experiment, but we'll see. Thunderbolt. Honestly, the best deck for Garuda so far. It's too good. Instant teleport to beat any projectile zoning, or beat Power Wave from Terry, Fire Force from Alan. Like any sort, like to punish characters with a lot of pushback, or ones that like miss and then go across the screen, like Skullomania with his Skullo dive. If you make that whiff, you have to chase him, but this gives you an instant punish every time. Also with Skullo Barrier, because it has this very specific pushback distance based on where you block it, it changes the timing that you have to run in and punish if you want to, because oftentimes you're not close enough to just press a button and punish. So with Thunderbolt, with the teleport, it allows you to instantly, at the same exact time, input a teleport and then punish it every single time the same way. It's amazing. Amazing. And the damage is through the roof. You have no defensive Gougi, but it doesn't really matter when you're so good with this deck. And just having teleport as a threat in neutral to teleport throw is so dangerous. So just even having that active is a threat to the opponent. And if you can just save it for one use, you'll just put it in their head and they'll be scared for the rest of the game. Fantasista. I think this could be good. I think there's a lot of risk involved. And Garuda can't make himself super safe because all of his supers are negative and punishable, even on hit for some of them, like the Kinebu, the Beyblade one. If you hit with that at close range, like, you're going to be punishable. So I would put this pretty low. I probably would put this above Babel at this point. I think it's not, like, worth exploring, but not super strong on the surface. Maybe, you know, with time and you can build like a ton of bar on a wake up DP, which is a fair point, because let's say you have 0 bar, you wake up DP, and then because of that wake up DP at a reversal timing, you get the bar you need to make the DP safe, right? So stuff like that can be really useful. But more useful than any of these, I don't think so, because it's a very niche situation. But if you play like Wavy, because Wavy is excellent at this kind of style, I think he could probably benefit from this better than other people. Supernova, better than Miracle, so I'd put it above there. And Grandmaster, you know where it's going. This is it.